What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Wednesday night's late night news roundup, and we're going to be discussing Eddie Howe. Yep, that's right, Newcastle fans, you heard me right. I'm going to be talking about your manager, but the question is going to be, how much longer may he be your manager? We're going to speak about Xabi Alonso. We're going to talk about Mohamed Salah. We'll be linking Liverpool with a right back, and I'll be filling you in on the top 10 highest earners in world football. That and lots more to come over the next few minutes, but you know the drill. I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget, I will be back live tomorrow at 8:45 for the Late Night Agenda. The Anfield Agenda podcast, a new episode of that will be dropping on Spotify tomorrow, so make sure you have your notifications set up for when that one drops. Right, let's get into it. Loads to get through. We're going to start off with a bit of a build on from a story that I mentioned earlier on today, which was around Xabi Alonso and his future. Manchester United and other clubs are starting to be linked with a move for him, but as the Express and many others have said, Liverpool do hold all the cards here because we are the club closest to Xabi Alonso's heart. And that's not my words, that's the man himself when asked previously. So I don't know what happens with Arne Slot. I know what I think should happen, but I don't know what John W. Henry and co have planned there in the immediate term. At the end of the season, if he hasn't delivered a Champions League or so, I do think he will receive his marching orders. But I wouldn't be surprised if some, let's say, secretive behind-the-scenes conversations are taking place between Liverpool and Alonso about the future, or about a potential future, shall we say. So the problem here again is, what if another club comes in with a bona fide offer for the here and now? That I don't know. This is still a developing story, of course, with Alonso's future, but I do think Liverpool would be very, very well placed should they want to make a move and bring him in to replace Arne Slot. Now, unfortunately, Mohamed Salah will not be winning the AFCON with Egypt, as they lost 1-0 to Senegal in the semi-final, and there's no good news to follow on that, because I could be sitting here saying to you, don't worry, it means we get Mo back a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, we won't. As reported by the Anfield Agenda Twitter account, or X account as it is these days, Mohamed Salah will be playing in the AFCON's bronze medal match to determine who finishes third on the 17th of January. He won't return until after a match against Burnley at the weekend. So, best of luck to Egypt and Mohamed Salah in that one. And of course, we do commiserate with the Egyptians and Mohamed on not being able to win the AFCON. We know how much he would have loved to have done that, and of course how much it would have meant to his fellow countrymen and women. So, let's talk about right backs for a minute, because we're still unsure exactly where Liverpool are going to stand in the transfer market, because we know Conor Bradley, who gave a bit of an update, by the way, earlier on in his own start to rehabilitation, is out for the remainder of the season. What we don't know is what Liverpool are thinking longer term. I love Conor Bradley. I'm a huge fan of his. But even I would have to admit that the injuries, well, it makes it very hard for a manager to plan deep into a season, not knowing whether you're going to have your right back available for most of it, because he does pick up quite a few knocks. That being said, Anfield Watch have said Liverpool scouts are reportedly huge admirers of Benfica right back Daniel Banjuakwai, who has been described and liked to Nuno Mendes. Now, again, you know my pronunciations are absolutely shocking, so I'm going to spell this one out for you just in case you want to do a bit of research on this gentleman yourself. First name Daniel, fairly straightforward. Surname spelled Banjaqui. So Banjuakwai. Has been liked to Nuno Mendes, so must have something about him. It is a position that I could understand Liverpool at least keeping an eye on in the short to medium term, but do let us know if you know much about this kid. This will be the part of the video where I'm always honest with you guys and say I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what the kid is like, but we do know Benfica has been a conveyor belt of talent, over the years. Now, Newcastle fans, I know you already despise me, and probably rightly so, but there is a story doing the rounds that suggests that Eddie Howe's position at Newcastle could be under threat. Now, I made a bit of a prediction earlier on today that I can see a world where Eddie Howe becomes the Manchester United manager down the line. Now, this piece here said that a review will take place in the summer regarding Eddie Howe's managerial position, and they would like to potentially take the club in a new direction with a new manager. I don't understand this. So Newcastle fans, you have my sincere sympathies here, because I rate Eddie Howe really highly, and I think Eddie Howe and Newcastle are a brilliant fit. The fans love him, he loves them, and he gets the club and he gets the city. So on this one, at least I hope you're seeing him on the same page as you. But I wonder what would happen if Manchester United there did make a move, perhaps. We know United need a new manager. Michael Carrick's there for the remainder of the campaign. But if Eddie Howe's future is in doubt, could he be somebody to keep an eye on at Manchester United? And Liverpool fans, just for shits and giggles, would you take Eddie Howe at Anfield if in the summer, let's say, or before then, Arne Slot receives his marching orders? Now, I know people are probably fed up of hearing about me talking about Arne Slot and his job. 11 games unbeaten, potentially 12 if we don't lose against Burnley. But I'm still not convinced by the style of football, and I still stand over what I believe is that unless something drastic happens, he will be gone because, well, the style isn't great. The results have been getting better, but it is still a disappointing season, whichever way you weigh it up. So let me know your thoughts on that one. And would you take Eddie Howe if Liverpool job became available? And then the other club's fans, how much do you rate Eddie Howe? Because I have to say, before he went to Newcastle, I was probably a bit, good coach, but will he really make it? Since he's gone to Newcastle, I've been nothing but impressed. He seems to deal with every situation that's thrown at him really well. I like him as a guy. He comes across as a good coach as well. So for me, Eddie Howe, 2 thumbs up. But would I want him at Liverpool? Probably no if Tyndall was involved, because I can't get behind Jason Tyndall now. I just can't. Eddie Howe as a guy and as a coach, proper good footballing guy. Seems like a really down-to-earth lad as well. But Tyndall, couldn't see that on the sidelines at Anfield. Anyway, let's talk about the highest paid players in Europe's top 5 leagues, which kind of equates to the world, really, if we're keeping Saudi Arabia out of it, because those aren't real world wages, are they? They're not what normal clubs pay people. They're tax efficient, over the top mercenaries? Is that the right word? It's the word I'm going to use, actually. I'm going to use mercenaries. Damn it, I'm going to use it. So, let's move on. Number 1. The highest paid player in Europe's top 5 leagues is Manchester City's Erling Braut Haaland, who is on £525,000 British pounds per week. Next is Kylian Mbappe at Real Madrid, who earns £518,137 per week. So, again, not too shabby. Third kind of surprised me a little bit, to be honest. Harry Kane at Bayern Munich earns £414,509 per week, which is about, €500,000, give or take. So that one surprised me a little bit. Not saying he doesn't deserve it. Kane's an exceptional striker, but yeah, I didn't think he was on that much money. Number 4 is our own Mohamed Salah, who, as we know, earns about £400,000 per week. Number 5 on the list, we again go back to Real Madrid. David Alaba earns £373,000 per week. Number 6, this one again absolutely shocked me. Dusan Vlahovic of Juventus earns £368,000 a week. Now, there's not much money in Italian football at the minute, so to see that Vlahovic is on that much money, well, that absolutely shocks me. Next on the list is one that I think we can all have a little chuckle at. It is Casemiro at Manchester United, who is on £350,000 per week. Some United fans may feel there's value in that. I still feel it's hysterical because it's way over the top, and United should never have brought him in on top of the transfer fee they paid for him. Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool is number 8 in the list, folks, with £350,000 per week. Number 9, again, it's back to Bayern Munich. Manuel Neuer earns £348,000 per week. And number 10 on the list is Robert Lewandowski, who earns £345,369 per week at Barcelona. Just in case you're curious, 11 is Jude Bellingham, 12 Vinicius Jr., 13 Jan Oblak, 14 Joshua Kimmich, and 15 Raheem Sterling of Chelsea, who gets $325,000 a week. So that is it for now, ladies and gents. Over to you to let us know your thoughts. Do let me know where your head is at with regards to the managerial situation. Do you think Alonso comes in? What do you think happens with Eddie Howe? And of course, I look forward to catching up with you all tomorrow at 8:45. Much love. Bye-bye.